Imagine this. You wake up one morning, and everything feels the same. The walls, the light, the silence. But something is different. You can't name it, but you feel it. There's a subtle stillness in the air, a hum beneath the surface, as if reality is waiting for your command. You sense it before you see it, the soft pull of a world rearranging itself around your new assumption. But then, like so many, you doubt it. You glance at your phone, your bills, your messages, and whisper the fatal phrase, "Nothing's changed." And in that moment, you undo the miracle. You see, reality is not fixed. It is not a cage you're trapped inside. It is clay, and clay does not sculpt itself. It waits for hands. It waits for imagination. It waits for you. I am not here to teach you how to react to reality. I am here to show you how to replace it. How to withdraw your faith from appearances and anchor it in the unseen. How to look upon a mountain and say, "You have no power here." Because every mountain you've ever faced, every delay, every doubt, every wall was not truth. It was echo. A memory of an old assumption you've long outgrown. You are not here to obey echoes. You are here to create sound. And tonight, I will take you beyond what is, beyond what your senses swear is true. I will take you to the threshold where the scene dissolves and the new begins, the place where your faith rewrites the script of your world. But first, you must understand the great illusion, the lie you have been living under, that the outer world holds authority over you. It does not. The world is your mirror, not your master. You do not attract what you wish, you attract what you are. So if you would change the reflection, you must ignore it. You must look past the surface and see only the end fulfilled. To ignore reality is not denial, it is dominion. It is choosing truth over fact, cause over echo, God over appearance. And I will show you how. Tonight you will learn to do the one sacred act that separates the awakened from the asleep, to turn your back on what is and walk faithfully into what must be. So take a breath. Let the noise fall away. Let the facts loosen their grip. You are not here to watch. You are here to command. Now, let us begin. Before you drift into sleep, take one small outer action that mirrors your inner decision. Subscribe to this channel, not as a routine click, but as a declaration that you're committed to attracting wealth. Let it be your first conscious act of alignment. A quiet, simple yes to the life you're now assuming. Every time you return, these teachings will water the seed you planted tonight. So, go ahead. Subscribe now and let the universe see you're serious about living in abundance. When I walked this earth, I told you plainly. Imagination creates reality, but few heard. They nodded, they studied, they prayed, and yet they still bowed before the evidence of their senses. They still asked, "How can I believe when nothing has changed?" And so they remained bound to the visible. But those who learned the sacred art, those who dared to ignore reality, they became free. They understood that the outer world is a shadow, cast by an inner sun. Change the sun, and the shadow obeys. You have been told that to ignore what is madness. But I tell you, to worship what is slavery. You were not born to bow to appearances. You were born to command them. You are not a leaf floating on the current. You are the river. The outer world is not separate from you. It is your past assumption crystallized. Every face, every number, every circumstance you see now was once a feeling accepted as true. And if you wish to change it, you must no longer serve it. You must withdraw your attention from the old world and fix it firmly upon the new. You must walk by faith, not by sight. You must feel the unseen more real than the seen, until the seen surrenders. That is the law. And tonight, we will not study it. We will live it. Go down to the comments right now and write, "I create reality." This isn't just a phrase, it's a signal, a sacred yes. The moment you type it, you align your energy with the state of having. So don't wait. Let the universe see your intention. Comment, "I create reality." When you speak from I am, you speak as the divine. You have been trained to stare at facts as if they were gods. You were told that what you can touch, count, and measure is final. But facts are not final. They are fossils. They are yesterday's assumptions hardened into form. To practice ignoring reality is to stop worshipping fossils and return to the living spring. Your state, I am not asking you to pretend the bill doesn't exist or that the diagnosis wasn't spoken. I am asking you to strip them of authority. You acknowledge the appearance, but you do not consult it for truth. Your truth is the end you have chosen. First, understand the mechanism. The outer is always post-dated mail. By the time a circumstance reaches your senses, it is already old, an afterglow of a state you once wore without noticing. When you fight what is seen, you are quarreling with a photograph. No photo ever changed by your scolding, but change the negative, the inner state, and every print that follows is different. So the practice begins with a vow. I will not let a photograph tell me who I am. Now we make it practical. When the mind wants to check the bank, you check your tone instead. You ask, who am I being right now? The one who waits for proof, or the one who already has? If the answer is the waiter, you switch immediately. You do not negotiate. You do not calculate. You lift your inner chin and occupy the fulfilled identity for 30 calm seconds. No drama, no strain. 30 seconds of being is worth more than hours of anxious work. A dozen such returns in a day will rewire your timeline. When the phone is silent, you do not make it personal. Silence is neutral until you assign it a meaning. The old self says, nothing's moving. The new self smiles. Everything is arranging. Say it quietly and mean it. Your meaning is a command. The bridge of incidents does not announce itself with trumpets. It moves like breath. You honor its subtlety with your composure. When an unwanted thought lands, you do not wrestle it. You amputate it by identity. The doubter asks how. The creator declares who. Replace the question with the answer. I am the one for whom this is already true. Feel the sentence, don't decorate it. Then let the mind be empty for a breath or two. Emptiness is not absence, it is fertile ground. When people around you argue for limitations, you stop performing for their fear. You practice sacred indifference. You nod, you soften, and within yourself you remain untouchable. You will learn this rhythm, gentle on the surface, unyielding at the core. Do not evangelize your state, contain it. What is contained harden. When the bill arrives, you do not flinch. You place your hand on it for a moment and bless it as evidence of circulation. You do not speak against your river while asking it to rise. Whisper within, money loves my presence. Then pay from calm, or schedule from calm, or hold from calm, but always from calm. The act matters less than the tone that performs it. There is a way to move your day that leaves the old world with nothing to grasp. You begin the morning in silence before the outer noise lays its claim. While the body is still heavy with sleep and the guard of reason is lax, you install the end, not by pleading, by remembering. Feel the scene that implies your wish is a fact already lived. The satisfied breath after the transfer clears. The casual gratitude of checking an account that supports you. The soft smile of a message that arrived exactly when it should. Feel it once, clearly, and stop. Do not beg the seed to sprout. Throughout the day, build a reflex. Whenever you catch yourself explaining, you replace explanation with embodiment. The one who is does not explain. The moment you hear yourself say, I'm trying to eat, you pause mid-sentence and internally switch to, I already am the one who finished the sentence from the end. Let the body mimic the new sentence, shoulders looser, breath slower, eyes softer. Identity is physical. Let the nerves learn it. You will be tempted to monitor progress. Monitoring is doubt in polite clothing. Each time you feel the itch to check, you return to the end and give it 10 seconds of quiet saturation. 10 seconds of being outweighs an hour of scrolling. Train for saturation, not stimulation. You will also be tempted to bargain with time. When this arrives, I'll relax. No, you relax first. Time is the echo. Your state is the sound. And yes, the echo can be quick, but you are not measuring. The farmer does not dig up the seed. He waters the atmosphere. Your water is loyalty to the end. Let me give you living scenes, because mind loves pictures. The account page is open. The numbers are smaller than your desire. In the old script, your chest tightens. In the new script, you do one thing. Exhale, you allow the body to feel a wave of already handled. Don't add words yet. Feel the tone. Now in that tone, you hear in your own inner voice a casual thought one would have if the account were abundant. This is light. Then you act, close the tab. Make the transfer, send the invoice from that lightness. The action is ordinary. The identity is not. This is how worlds turn. Another scene. The text you want has not arrived. The old self writes a paragraph in its head about rejection. The new self chooses amnesia. You purposely forget the story and drop into the feeling of course. You do not script their words. You inhabit your role, the chosen one whose experience includes easy, timely communication. From that tone, you go make tea. The message will come by the bridge that suits your neutrality. Another. The body reports pain. You do not lie to yourself about sensation. You let the sensation be, and you install a superior premise. I am the one for whom restoration is natural. You practice tiny proofs. Stand, walk to the door, and notice one fraction of motion that feels closer to ease. Praise that fraction internally. Magnify it by attention. What you magnify multiplies. You will ask, how do I ignore emergencies? I answer, by choosing your definition of the moment. An emergency is a demand to panic. You are never obligated to panic. You can respond swiftly from a still core. Practice it on small things, a late train, a sharp email. So when larger waves come, your nervous system knows the path home. The path home is a single breath that says, I am safe in the end I chose. From safety, intelligence flows. From panic, you repeat old patterns. There are 3 common ways people break their creation without noticing. First, they confess lack in the name of honesty. I'm just being realistic. No, you are being regressive. Honesty is not reporting appearances. Honesty is fidelity to your chosen end. Second, they turn the law into labor. They jam affirmations into a fearful chest and call it work. The subconscious hears the fear, not the syllables. Relax, or you plant the wrong seed. Third, they make their desire a deity and worship it with constant attention. You do not worship outcomes. You install identity and let outcomes orbit. A better way is light, exact, and quiet. Light in touch, no straining. Exact in identity, no vagueness. Quiet in demeanor, no leaking. If you want money, stop asking for money. Become the person for whom money is a byproduct. That self has tells an ease in deciding, a generosity without theater, a refusal to discuss struggle as personality. Put those tells on today, humbly, privately. Watch how quickly the mirror learns. Isolation is often asked for in the early days of a new assumption. Not isolation from people, though you may crave quiet, but isolation from contradiction. You stop telling everyone what you are doing. You make your inner room thick with secrecy, not out of superstition, but stewardship. Light grows in containment. Speak little, live loudly. If you stumble, and you will do not dramatize it. Revision is mercy. At night, before sleep, take the day's worst scene and replay it as it should have been in your new life. Feel the relief of the corrected moment. Drift off there. You are not fixing the past. You are changing the seed the past is still feeding from. In the morning you will notice the echo is softer. You ask for markers to know you are truly ignoring reality and not merely daydreaming. Here they are. First, your body quiets quickly after a trigger. The interval between stimulus and identity settles to seconds. Second, your speech shortens. Fewer explanations, cleaner answers, more silences heavy with yes. Third, you find yourself forgetting to check days pass, and you realize you have lived, not monitored. Fourth, the world behaves strangely kind. Small alignments cluster, coincidences braid into momentum. Do not gawk, smile inside. Keep walking. Fifth, you feel a new boredom with your old story. It no longer thrills you to speak of struggle. That boredom is a graduation. Let me arm you with swift replacements for the old reflexes. When how rises, you respond. Already arranged. When pokes, you answer on time, as always. When what if it fails, hisses, you reply. That timeline is closed. When the mind tries to calculate, you say, I spend from certainty, not from proof. When someone asks for the old you give them the new silence. Make a simple daily lattice to hold you. On waking 1 minute of occupancy, feel the end. Breathe as the one who has. Afternoon, 1 return, 10 seconds, where you stand in your spine and remember who is walking this day. Evening, 1 revision, reshape the roughest moment into alignment and sleep inside it. If you do only this, the floor of your reality will rise beneath you without fanfare. Perhaps you want examples of lives turned by this practice. A woman looked at a ledger that had scolded her for years. She decided the ledger had no voice. She sat on the edge of her bed and felt, not imagined, felt the texture of surplus, the way you would glance with boredom at more than enough. The next week, an old client remembered an unpaid invoice and sent triple with apology. She did not thank chance. She thanked her tone and kept quiet. A man starved for recognition stopped speaking of being overlooked. He wore the feeling of being chosen so convincingly that he forgot to perform in meetings. He spoke less, said one precise sentence, and left early. The offer arrived from the one who notices those who do not beg to be noticed. The mirror sees what you are being when you think no one is watching. A friend, whom doctors had trained into bleak expectation, stopped arguing with reports. He learned to give pain no title. He breathed, and each breath carried the identity of a body that returns to balance as a matter of course. He praised tiny proofs. Balance obeyed. Do not make idols of these incidents. They are not the cause. The cause is identity stabilized long enough for matter to remember. Matter is slow, not stubborn. Be kinder than your impatience. There will come a day, sooner than you think, when ignoring reality is no longer a practice, but your reflex. You will glance at an old pattern and feel nothing but a quiet recognition that belonged to a former version of me. You will notice how many doors open when the hand on the knob belongs to the one who already lives inside. You will speak rarely about process, because you have become the result. If you want a single sentence to carry in your chest while the world does its theater, carry this: I refuse to be drafted into a story I did not choose. Let that refusal be elegant, not combative. The old world loves fights. The new world answers with presence. And if you must summarize the art in one movement, it is this: withdraw attention from the echo and marry it to the end. Do it again and again until the end feels like the only honest thing about you. Then watch as the echo blushes and learns your new name. You are not here to manage circumstances. You are here to appoint them. Ignore what is, not because you are blind, but because you can at last see. Close your eyes. Let the room soften until it's only warmth and shadow. Let the chair hold you. Let the ground rise to meet your feet. The outer world can wait. You are not running away. You are returning to the cause. Breathe in slowly through the nose, and let the breath fall out of you like a long, gentle ribbon. Again, inhale as if you are drinking from a still pool. Exhale as if you are setting a lantern on calm water and watching it drift. With each exhale, the edges of objects blur, the sharpness of facts dulls, the noise of memory thins. Keep breathing until there is nothing left to manage. Only presence. Sense the crown of your head softening. The forehead loosens, the small muscles around the eyes unfurl, the jaw releases its old stories. Let the tongue rest at the roof of your mouth. That tiny touch tells the body peace. Drop your shoulders. Let the heaviest thought slide off your back like a coat you forgot you were wearing. The chest opens like a window after rain. The belly loosens and begins to rise and fall with the sea inside you. Hips, thighs, knees, warm, Heavy, safe, nerves and feet rooted, supported. You are home in your own body. And now we go deeper. Imagine, don't strain. Let it appear that you are standing in a vast field under a twilight sky. The air is cool and clean, scented with wild grasses and a hint of rain that hasn't fallen yet. The horizon glows with that soft, impossible color that lives between day and night, blue becoming indigo, gold becoming memory. You look down and realize the ground under your feet is springy, alive, eager to hold you. This field is your consciousness before the world speaks. It is yours to shape. Ahead, two paths reveal themselves. To the left, a road lined with tall mirrors. Each mirror is polished to a cruel shine. They carry old scenes like insects caught in amber, the bill that arrived on the worst day, the email that never came, a face that turned away, the number in an account that taught you to flinch. In each mirror is a caption, "This is who you are." Hear the whisper, but do not bow. To your right, there is a different way. At first, you cannot see it at all, only a corridor of stillness, an aisle of air, a hush that hums, no signposts, no proofs, only a soft, unearned glow, as if something on the other side is already finished and is calling you by your true name. Take a breath. Place your hand over your chest and feel the steady drum beneath your palm. That rhythm, my friend, is the first law. It keeps time with creation, not with clocks. Let your next step be taken by that rhythm. You turn your body toward the invisible path. As your weight shifts, the mirrors behind you begin to crack, not with violence, but with relief. Each shatters into dust as tender as snowfall. Each whisper dissolves into a mist that kisses the grass and is gone. You do not turn back. You do not explain your turning to the empty frames. You do not seek their permission. Your only witness is the sky and the pulse you carry. Walk. One step, simple and clean. Another and another. And with each step, the field reveals a thread of light beneath your feet, as if your choosing lays the path at the same instant you tread it. With every breath, the world grows quieter, but the quiet is not empty. In it, you begin to hear the heartbeat beneath all things, steady and sure. Dum, dum, dum. And between the beats, a voice rises. Not loud, not pleading, simply sovereign. It is done. Let it echo inside your chest like a bell that rings without hands. It is done. Again, softer, closer. It is done. Feel how that sentence changes the air around you. The wind shifts. The temperature lifts a degree. Your bones remember something older than fear, the ease of already. Ahead, faint shapes begin to glimmer through the haze, outlines waiting for your recognition. First, a dwelling. Do not strain to design it. Let it reveal itself the way a photograph appears in a basin of developer. A door you love. A key you carry without thinking. A threshold that knows your weight. Enter in imagination. Feel the ordinary holiness of a place that holds you, the easy hum of appliances, the way the floor greets your feet, the scent that says, "You live here." Your hand finds the light switch, and even the click is friendly. Open a drawer and see it tidy, because your mind is tidy. Touch the table. There are no bills arguing with you, only envelopes you open without flinch, numbers that look up at you and nod. This is not fantasy. It is selection. Whisper, without effort. This is mine. Pause. Let the chest warm as the words take root. The warmth is not adrenaline. It is authority. Sit on the couch that belongs to your rested spine. Run a hand over the fabric. Feel the weave. Texture is proof to the subconscious. Listen. There it is. The sound a home makes when it is on your side. It is a quiet chorus. The breath of vents, the far rhythm of a clock, the soft purring of a machine that keeps your food safe without your attention. Ease is a sound. Memorize it. Rise and float to another room. Not by walking, by deciding, a small office, a nook, a sunlit corner. Your device is there, calm and obedient. You glance at an account. Do not squint to see digits. Feel the atmosphere of surplus. In this atmosphere, numbers behave. They are not gods, they are staff. Notice what your body does in the presence of more than enough. It relaxes without asking permission. The shoulders unhook, the breath goes all the way down, the eyes soften. Let your mouth, without your planning it, shape a simple smile. The kind that visits when a pattern has been kind for so long it has become background. That smile tells the subconscious, this is normal. Say it once, inside of course. Let the scene broaden, move to a window. Outside, the evening holds the neighborhood in blue gold hands. The world looks arranged, not random. You watch someone you love walk toward your door. Their gait is easy, their face lit with that specific light reserved for the ones who know they are chosen. They step inside. The air changes. The way they look at you feels like arrival, not the chase. There is no begging here, no audition. You speak to each other the way rivers speak to oceans, with familiarity. They touch your cheek. The body registers safety. This is the frequency of belonging. Let your sternum bloom with it. Do not narrate. Feel the single sentence of their presence, I am loved. Let it be a temperature that never turns off. Now the scene expands further without effort. Work, craft, contribution. See yourself in your setting of power, not performing, simply being what you are. The email chime that used to make your chest pinch now sounds like a bell in a friendly harbor. The messages read like confirmations, invitations, completions. Notice how your fingers touch the keyboard. No rush. Notice the way you end a note. Clean, without apology. Notice the way others receive you, as if they had been looking for you under another name, and now they know the correct one. You brought nothing but state, and the world rearranged like iron toward a magnet. Let the field appear again beyond the walls. Step outside. The path behind you is now a luminous line, stretching back through the grass, not to the mirrors, but to the moment you chose. The moment of turning is the only cause, and you are the turn. Ahead, the invisible path keeps laying itself at your pace, never late, never urgent. Above you, stars begin to tease the sky. The first one appears, then another, and another. Like openings in a curtain, each star is an incident on your bridge. Simple, ordinary, perfectly placed. You do not have to count them. You only keep walking in the tone that called them. Now let an old image rise briefly, the mirror path to test your poise. A single shard of glass remains half buried in the field at your left. You step closer without fear and look down. It tries to catch your face. It tries to play you a scene. But the glass does not know your new name. It reflects at an angle and offers you nothing. You kneel, touch the shard, and watch it melt into dew. You say with kindness and finality, I do not live there. Rise. The body learns faster from gestures than from lectures. Let this gesture be a lesson. We go deeper still. Feel the soles of your feet. With each inhale, imagine they are drinking light up from the earth. The light flows through your ankles, calves, knees, thighs, warm and slow. It arrives in the belly and collects there like honey in a bowl. With each exhale, imagine the same light moving up through the ribs, flooding the heart, filling the throat, washing behind the eyes, pooling in the crown. You have made a small sun of yourself, and suns do not ask for permission to shine. They do not check the weather, they create it. Place the tip of your thumb against the pad of your index finger on each hand. Make a gentle seal and say inwardly, without sound, it is done. Feel how the body recognizes the phrase now. It sits down on it like a chair. It trusts. Again, lighter. It is done. Again, lower in the chest. It is done. This is a key you can carry into any room. Each time you press finger to thumb, the field will remember this light. Let's test it with 3 small scenes that train your nervous system to ignore the old draft and live the new script. Scene 1. The unexpected bill. You see the envelope. You do not dramatize its arrival. You place it in your palm as though you are blessing bread. The inner climate stays warm. You press finger to thumb. It is done. Inside, a sentence arrives. Money likes solving things for me. No fireworks. Just a fact. You open the envelope. Whatever you see becomes ordinary in the presence of your tone. The path ahead quietly adds a plank. Scene 2. The waiting message. The phone is face down. The old self used to flip it over like a gambler. The new self makes tea, finger to thumb. It is done. While the water warms, you lean against the counter, as if leaning into a friend. The kettle sings. The phone hums whenever it pleases. Your state does not rise and fall on a rectangle. You pour, stir, sip. The bridge moves in its own meter because you stayed with yours. Scene 3. The body's complaint. A twinge, an ache, a symptom tries to narrate the day. You nod at the sensation and refuse its story. Finger to thumb. It is done. You place a warm hand where the body speaks and whisper without words. Rest is happening. Not will happen. Happening, you notice one degree of ease within the next minute. A softer swallow, a longer breath, a patch of muscle that unknots. You praise that degree like a first sprout and let it lead the rest. Now return to the path. The invisible road carries you to a small rise in the field. At the crest is a linen curtain, very tall, very thin, moving in a wind you cannot feel. This is the veil of appearance. Step closer. See how it holds faint images, yesterday's facts, last month's balances, an old tone of voice, a timeline that once insisted on being consulted. Put your palm against the fabric. It is cool at first, then it remembers your warmth and takes it. You do not rip the veil, you do not fight it. You simply walk through. As you pass, the fabric leaves no residue. On the other side, the air tastes different, like the first hour after a summer storm, ion-rich, clear, alive. Listen, the world on this side speaks your language. The grass makes sounds like yes, the wind makes sounds like now. Your own footsteps sound like always. Ahead, your life stands waiting, not in outline now, but in color. Walk through rooms that recognize you. Notice how nothing argues. Draw open a drawer and see what it looks like when provision is the default. Things you need already where they should be. Forms signed, numbers aligned, small proofs stacked like smooth stones. Walk into the kitchen, your favorites rest in easy reach, as if life anticipated you. Walk into your workspace. See the object that means new opportunity. A contract, a calendar, a simple note with tomorrow's meeting. The right name highlighted as if lit from behind. Lay your hand on that page and feel the energy of green lights. Not a raceway, not a frenzy. A series of doors that open because your hand is already on the next handle. Let someone speak your name from the next room. Hear how it sounds when it's said with regard, your name rounded by respect, softened by affection. Walk toward that voice. Look into their eyes and see the reflection you always wanted. Not need, not suspicion. Certainty. Your certainty taught them how to see you. Let your chest answer with a quiet hum. This is the conversation of fulfilled people. It has very few words, a smile, a nod, a hand at your back as you pass. You have become easy to bless. Now let the scene widen to include money as movement, not as weight. See currency like water, not as something to dam, but something that irrigates. Watch it flow out from you, into the right places. Clean, elegant, unforced, and watch how it returns multiplied, because you never choked it with fear. Notice the rhythm, out and in and out like breath. The account updates, but numbers are an afterthought. The state is the fact. Take a slow breath and let one more layer fall away. The need to monitor, your mind will be tempted to ask, is it working? That question belongs to the mirror road. We are done with mirrors. Instead, ask, who am I right now? And answer by being it. You do not need to watch the seed. You need only be the soil that always yields. To seal this, step back outside to the field, one last time. Night has fully arrived, but there is no darkness here, only velvet and starfire. Above you, constellations you've never noticed arrange themselves into a map that only you can read. Each point of light, corresponds to a decision made from the end. Small, quiet, faithful. The pattern glows because you persisted. You stand beneath it with your hands loose at your sides, fingers warm, jaw soft, eyes damp, the way eyes get when the body recognizes a homecoming. Say within, once, as if speaking to the entire cosmos and also to a single cell, this is mine. Let the sentence land low in the place between heart and belly. Feel it radiate outward like ripples from a stone on a still lake. The first ripple touches the nearest hour. The second moves through the week. The third brushes months you haven't lived yet and makes them bow in advance. You did not push, you named. Now let the field fade, but keep the tone. Let the house fade, but keep the easing spine. Let the numbers fade, but keep the boredom of abundance. Let the beloved fade, but keep the warm handprint on your heart. Bring your awareness back to the simple room where your body sits. Notice how the air here is friendlier. Notice how the sounds are less demanding. Notice how your face has changed. You have carried the new world across the veil, because the veil was in you, and you moved it. Before you open your eyes, press finger to thumb, and whisper one last time, the way a judge drops a gavel or a mother kisses a brow. It is done. When you do open them, do not rush to check anything. Sit in the afterglow for a breath or two, and let the nervous system memorize this as baseline. When you stand, let your feet find the floor like old friends meeting without drama. Walk from this room as one who has crossed over, because you have. The mirrors behind you have no voice. The path ahead lays itself at your pace. You are no longer the observer. You are the cause. And when the day offers you any scene at all, pleasant, neutral, or testing, touch finger to thumb and hear the soft bell again. Feel the field return. Feel the house breathe. Feel the numbers behave. Feel the beloved's hand. Bring the unseen into the scene with a single quiet movement of being. You have crossed the veil. You are home. Close your eyes a little more, as if the world outside were dimming itself out of respect. Let your breath lengthen, in and out, until the mind loosens its grip, and the body remembers how to be held. The humbatode man around you grows warm, like late sunlight through eyelids. Let that warmth gather and brighten until the chamber reveals itself. You are standing at the threshold of a grand room that seems to be carved from light itself. Columns rise, not from stone, but from radiance, soft, living gold, that breathes with you. The air has a fragrance you cannot name, something like clean linen and first morning. Overhead, the ceiling is both near and endless, a gentle dome of luminous sky. In the very center waits a chair, no angles, no joints, just a seamless shaping of light, as if a star decided to sit and became furniture. It hums the way your favorite note hums in your chest. It hums like recognition. You know, without knowing how, that this seat has been waiting for you since before clocks. Take a slow step forward. Feel the floor meet your foot with perfect welcome. The next step is even easier, as though the room itself is happy to see you. Notice, as you draw nearer, how something heavy around your shoulders starts to itch, an old cloak you forgot you were wearing. It's woven from the voice that asked for proof. It smells faintly of waiting rooms and fluorescent lights. It has labels stitched into its hem. Realism, doubt, someday. You reach up and find the fastening at the throat. It offers no fight. You open it, and the fabric slides from your shoulders with a tired sigh. It hangs in air for a breath, and then, as if the light refuses to host anything that is not true, it unthreads into sparks and disappears before it can touch the floor. Your body is suddenly lighter by 20 quiet pounds you had grown used to. Roll your shoulders and feel how the blades glide now, how the sternum lifts like a window being raised. Step to the chair. Place a palm on it. It is warm, not hot, not cold, the exact temperature of trust. It thrums up your arm like a friendly cat, leaning its whole weight into your hand. Sit. Straighten your spine the way a tree knows how to stand. Let your tailbone root. Stack your vertebrae like luminous coins. Allow the crown of your head to float up toward a point of light above you. Rest your hands on your thighs, palms down if you want to feel anchored, palms up if you want to feel poured into. Let your tongue rest at the roof of your mouth. The body loves this quiet signal. Breathe in through the nose for a slow count of 4. Hold for 2, and let the exhale fall open for 6. Again, the seat meets your weight perfectly. There is no edge, no searching. You are received under your skin. There is a pulse you often ignore. Feel it now. The steady drum behind the sternum, the low tide in return at the belly, the delicate ticking at the wrists. That rhythm is older than fear. Let breath and beat marry each other. On the next exhale, let one simple sound ride the breath to the base of your being. I am. Do not force it. Do not ask it to mean anything. Let it be a bell rung in a temple that remembers you. The room brightens a shade, as if it had been waiting for the password only your soul can speak. Again, a little fuller, as if your bones are saying it this time. I am. Feel what happens when those 2 syllables arrive without argument. The space around you becomes precise. The edges of the chair soften even more to fit your exact shape, as if the light is tailoring itself to your essence. The golden air gathers itself into orbits. All around you scenes begin to rise, not from outside but from the deep within that wears no clock. Wealth glows to your left, not as numbers you chase but as a steady river, clear, constant, self-feeding. To your right, love warms the air like a hand over a candle, devoted, easy, present. Before you, peace opens in quiet plains that go on and on, the horizon forever calm. Behind you, freedom stands tall and playful, the sense that nothing can trap you because you no longer hold the trap. They do not come when called, they do not gather like pets. They move in slow, loving circles as if your presence is the sun, and they are planets making their right turns around the center. You do not stretch a hand, you do not lean forward. You sit, you breathe, you let the hum of the chair set the tempo. You are not magnetizing, you are remembering gravity. Say it again, rising from deeper now, from the place behind your heart. I am. Notice how each orbiting scene responds. Wealth draws a fraction closer and grows less theatrical, more normal, as ordinary as breath. Love stops performing and simply leans against your shoulder without needing to be seen doing it. Peace settles at your feet like a faithful animal and warms your ankles. Freedom laughs softly and leans its back against your back. The room, brighter now, feels both grand and intimate, like the inside of a cathedral and the inside of a friend. Choose the vision that calls first, not by striving, by recognition. Let it choose you by the way your chest softens when you look at it. Perhaps it is the river. Let the river of provision gently curve its orbit and arrive not with splash, but with inevitability. It comes to rest like a shawl across your lap. Its current runs through your thighs, through the belly, through the spine. You don't grab the stream, you let it flow. The hum of the chair lowers a note to match it. Whisper, as if speaking to something that already understands. This is done. Feel the difference between this will be and this is done. It is the difference between leaning forward and leaning back. Notice how your body chooses. Your shoulders settle down away from ears. The brow becomes wide sky. The breath goes all the way in without catching. Let gratitude bloom, not the jittery spark of finally, but the deep, satisfied warmth, of course. Gratitude for possession, not for promise. As that warmth spreads, the river does not speed up. It becomes more contained, more reliable, like a system that has been installed and is now simply running. Rest a hand over your lower ribs and feel the current underneath. The subconscious learns through touch. Give it this proof. In your other palm, there is a weight, pleasant, grounding. Look down in the mind's eye and see a small, luminous token resting there. It bears the seal of your state. On one face is a word you don't need to read. On the other is only light. Close your fist around it. It passes into the hand, up the arm, into the chest, and disappears into you. You do not store it. You become it. Let the river keep flowing, now as background, while another scene drifts forward. Perhaps love. Do not reach for it. Stay exactly where you are. Let love approach like mist, rolling in at sunrise, silent, total, gentle. It settles across your shoulders and the back of your neck, warm and impossibly familiar. Feel how it changes your posture, just a few millimeters. The chin no longer tipped down in doubt, not tipped up in defense, simply aligned. The chest opens, not as a display, but as a doorway. Hear a laugh from a throat you know. It is not a memory of a person. It is the sound of being chosen. It rings inside your ribcage and makes the bones ring back with the same note. Whisper again, without drama. This is done. Notice how nothing demands proof inside this room. Notice how every scene becomes most vivid when you stop trying to hold it. That is the secret. Your nervous system is learning right now. Stillness is the magnetic field. Let peace approach next. It does not need to move. It has been here since you sat. It reveals itself by removing what never belonged, little knots in the face, old flinches around the eyes, the habit of scanning the horizon for danger. The scanning stops. Vision widens. You perceive more, not less. Your hearing opens like a flower. The smallest sounds become friendly. The hush of your breath, the microsound of fabric, when the chest rises and falls. Peace fills the room floor to ceiling like clean water, and you float without trying. Whisper as if naming the obvious, this is done. Freedom steps forward, and you can't help it. You smile. Freedom has always been playful with you. Always has a way of making your shoulders want to roll and your lungs want to take the biggest breath of the day. It brings you the sense of open doors, not as a picture of doors, but as a change in pressure in the air, light, expansive, permissive. Feel the cuff at your wrist unbutton itself where you didn't know it was fastened. Feel the belt loosen a notch in a place you didn't know you were cinched. Then changes the fit of the whole outfit of your life. Whisper once more, so softly the skin hears it. This is done. Let all four orbit close until they are no longer separate. River through lap, warmth at shoulder, water through air, doors in pressure. They begin to layer and then to overlap, then to mingle, then to merge. You could try to tell them apart, but why? This is a single climate now, and the climate is you. Stay here long enough for the body to believe it without your help. Give it time. Breathe. Let the inhale be an invitation, the exhale a seal. If an old thought wanders in, it will feel like a draft in this room. You don't have to chase the window to close it. You only sit deeper. The chair answers by raising its hum 1 degree, and the draft becomes a breeze that only brightens the gold. Doubt does not need to be argued with. In the presence of I am, it loses its language. Let it fade without commentary. If it tries to show you a scene from the past, do not look away in fear, look through it. Here, in this chamber, all pictures projected on the air are made of mist. Your gaze breaks them. They scatter like breath on a cold day, and you remain. Say the name again, the only name that matters. But now, let it be the whole body speaking, not the tongue. The bones say it. The blood says it. The room says it back. I am. Feel the instant correspondence. The chair answers with a low, contented tone that you feel in the pelvis. The walls answer with a subtle brightening that makes your skin drink light. The orbits settle into perfect balance, neither too close nor too far, like planets that have found the exact line where gravity and freedom kiss. You are seated at the center, not because you conquered anything, but because you accepted the role that has always been yours. You are no longer a seeker, standing at a display window. You are the one they display for. Let one practical scene present itself now, something specific and close. A message arriving, a door opening, a quiet yes. Do not craft it with effort. Allow it to condense from the air the way dew forms on a glass. Inevitable when the conditions are right. Feel the phone in your hand, not as an object of hope, but as a tool of confirmation. It vibrates once. You don't flinch. You smile without trying. You open the message. Read it with your body. Your abdomen relaxes another degree. Your shoulders lower another centimeter. Your jaw unhinges one more notch. The text contains exactly what aligns, in the exact tone that respects you. There is nothing to decode. You answer briefly, kindly, clearly, as one who doesn't need to prove. Then you set the device down. The moment seals itself and starts a quiet cascade. You do not need to supervise. Let another simple scene present, a number in an account, but rather than seeing digits, feel the climate that would make those digits inevitable. It feels like pantry shelves that are never bare. It feels like shoes that never pinch. It feels like buying fruit and not checking the price by reflex. It feels like not remembering the last time you worried about timing because timing started to behave. This is not glamour. This is order. This is the elegance of sufficiency that does not slosh, it circulates. The room nods at your recognition and makes a small, satisfied sound. The chair deepens half a breath to memorize your choice. Place your right palm over the center of your chest. Place your left palm over the navel. There is a line between them, a warm silver thread. With each inhale, watch the thread glow from the lower palm to the upper. With each exhale, watch it glow from the upper palm to the lower. Up, down, down, up. After a few breaths, the thread dissolves because you no longer need to imagine connection that already exists. The whole torso becomes a steady lantern. The words arise again, but this time they arrive as a smile across your face. I am. Let the room translate that smile into architecture. The columns seem taller, not because they grew, but because your seeing became larger. The gold becomes quieter, like candlelight in a room full of sleeping children, assured, watchful, utterly peaceful. The scenes that were orbiting you find their perfect resting places within you. The river inhabits your lower belly and flows without your attention. Love takes up residence behind your sternum and warms the back of your heart. Peace settles into your diaphragm and keeps your breathing slow, even when the day outside runs fast. Freedom becomes the space around your spine, so that every movement you make from here will be unbound. Stay until having becomes so normal that getting feels like a language you used to speak. Let it recede like an accent that fades when you return home. When you sense the moment ripen, let the chair teach you one simple gesture you can carry into the world. Perhaps it is the quiet press of thumb to middle finger. Perhaps it is a single breath that starts low and ends with a soft smile. Perhaps it is the relaxing of the tongue and the widening of the eyes the tiniest bit. Whatever it is, let the room show you. Practice it once here. Notice how the atmosphere answers. That is your scepter. That is the switch. There may be a part of you that wants to rush, now to stand and test, to see if it worked. Bless that part with a glance that says, I know. Then let it nap in a sunbeam. There is nothing to test when you are the cause. If you wish to choose another scene, you can. This room has endless patience. Let it orbit, draw near, merge, and normalize. If you wish to simply sit inside the fullness you have, do that. The point is not collection. The point is identity stabilized at the center. The point is the end lived now. When you are ready to leave, you will not stand up from the throne as if leaving power behind. The chair of light is not a place, it is a posture. Feel it rise with you, not beneath you. Itarith. Feel it gather into a sphere the size of your heart and take its seat inside your chest. The hum travels with it. A low, benevolent note you will hear beneath traffic and conversations and emails and weather. That note is the key of your world now. Breathe one more time with the room. In, let your ribs widen like doors. Out, let everything you do not need fall through the floor like sand into the sea. Whisper, not to ask, but to honor. This is done. And the room, the chair, the orbits, the gold, everything answers in a single, silent chorus that the outer ear cannot hear, and the inner ear will never forget. I am, carry this with you. When the day asks you questions, let the scepter answer. When the old cloak tries to find your shoulders in a crowded hallway or a glowing screen, smile gently and let it dissolve before it can land. When you walk into a space that once made you small, feel the chair of light rise inside you and take its place. You do not need the room to return to the throne. You bring the throne to every room. Stay a few breaths longer, letting the nervous system set this as baseline. Then, when you open your eyes, open them the way doors open in this chamber, smoothly, without hurry, already home. Speak nothing for a moment. Let your presence do the talking. The world will feel it. It will begin to orbit, and you, seated at the center, will simply know. Close your eyes. Let the surface of the day loosen and soften, as if it were only a coat you can shrug from your shoulders. Feel your jaw release, your chest open, your belly soften. Breathe in slowly through your nose and out like a long, warm sigh. Again, in and out. The body settles, the mind widens. You are not escaping anything. You are returning to the place where you decide. A subtle brightness gathers behind your eyelids, and when you let your inner sight open, you find yourself at the threshold of a vast gallery. It seems to stretch without end, yet it is intimate, familiar, like a place you have always known. The floor is polished, cool beneath your feet. The air is scented with cedar and faint incense, the fragrance of old wisdom. Light pours from no single source. It rises out of the walls themselves, gentle and gold, as if the space remembers the sun. Walk with me. To your left and right, tall frames hang in silent rows. Each frame holds a living scene, moments of your past breathing softly, suspended in time like dew on a leaf. As you move, some scenes call to you with a tug of recognition, a conversation you wish had gone differently, an opportunity you think you missed, a face you loved and feared losing. The night you told yourself a small, quiet lie about your worth, and the world agreed. None of this comes to accuse you. It comes to be redeemed. Place your hand upon your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. Whisper within, I am the author of meaning. I am the chooser of tone. I am the one who gives every scene its power. As those words move through you, the gallery brightens by a degree. You do not need to relive pain to heal it. You will revisit only to revise, to replace sorrow with wisdom, regret with love, confusion with clarity, and pain with purpose. Nothing was wasted. Everything is raw material. In the hands of your present I am. A frame draws near on your right, as if it has rolled down the wall to meet you. In it, you see a younger you at a kitchen table, counting bills or counting hurts. It doesn't matter which, because the feeling is the same. Tightness, smallness, a breath you cannot quite finish. Watch the posture, the shoulders, the eyes. See the story that was silently agreed to in that moment. Life is bigger than me. I am at the mercy of what has been, without judgment, simply notice. And then, with exquisite gentleness, touch the frame. The glass warms under your palm and softens like water. Step through. You are in the room now. The younger you looks up. There is no shock, only a recognition that vibrates beneath words, as if your presence has always been planned. Sit beside them. Do not argue with their fear. Place your hand upon their hand. Feel the pulse the same as yours, and say in a voice made of calm, I know how this story ended, because I am the ending. We are not here to relive. We are here to rewrite. See the papers on the table blur and rearrange into letters of light. Hear the refrigerator hum fade into a soft chord, the sound of permission. Now revise. Hear the words you wished had been spoken, whether by you, by another person, or by life itself. Let them be spoken now. Let the voice be steady, kind, and final. Perhaps you hear, you are provided for. You are chosen, you are capable. Or simply, it's already done. Watch the shoulders loosen. Watch the lungs remember how to draw a full breath. Let that new breath ripple through time like a warm wind, clearing the dust that had settled on the days that followed. Hold the feeling that replaces the fear, relief that deepens into trust, trust that flowers into quiet certainty. The room brightens a shade. The younger you smiles, not a performance, but a dawning. Look into those eyes and feel the blessing move both ways, you blessing them and they blessing you with the purity of beginning again. Draw that revised feeling into your chest and lock it there as your new memory. When you step back through the frame, the scene fixes itself in gold. You cannot tell which version is original anymore. You only know which version is true. Walk on. Another frame tugs at your sleeve. A conversation with someone you loved where you felt unseen, unheard, small. The old you believes this scene defined your value. Touch the glass. It yields. Step in. The room appears as it was, but the air is softer now, as if it has made room for grace. See yourself there, moments before the words you remember. Place your hand gently on your own shoulder and let the whole timeline pause. In this stillness, choose again. Speak the sentence you wish you had said. Not to win, not to prove, but to express the wholeness that was always yours. Hear the other person answer the way your heart knew they could. Perhaps they apologize. Perhaps they listen. Perhaps they do not. And that is perfect, because you no longer need them to. You are not revising them. You are revising you. Your state, your self-concept, your source of worth. Let the scene rearrange around your chosen tone. Watch the posture of your body change, the weather of your chest clear, the room become less a courtroom and more a sanctuary. Breathe. Feel the clean line of self-respect settle into your spine, the kind that needs no defense. As the feeling takes root, the colors of the scene deepen and saturate, as if the world has decided to believe you. Draw this strength into your chest and let the past version of you see the present one. Say, we're safe now. We choose love without losing ourselves. The glass brightens. You step through, the frame seals with a new memory yours. Walk on. The hall opens wider, and you notice alcoves along the far wall, private chapels for deeper revisions. One calls to you with a steady magnetism. Enter. In this alcove there is no frame, only a circular pool, as smooth as a mirror. The surface reflects not an event but a belief, the subtle thought that hid already inside so many choices. Perhaps it was, good things pass quickly. Or, money is hard. Or, I must become perfect to be loved. Stand before the pool and notice how the belief has been wearing your face. Not to blame, only to understand the spell you have been unconsciously reciting. Kneel. Touch the surface with the tips of your fingers. Watch the belief break apart like thin ice. Beneath it, clear, living water stirs. Listen. You will hear the true sentence rise from the deep like a bell. It may be, I am the constant source. It may be, I am the one who outgives lack. It may be, love is my nature, not a bargain. Whatever phrase emerges, let it find your mouth. Speak it once with finality. As you do, the chamber glows. The walls seem to inhale, then exhale. Your nervous system reorganizes around the new truth, like a flock of birds turning in perfect unison. The old reflexes cannot hold. Let them slip. Feel the relief of being reprinted at the level of identity. You have not edited the fringe. You have rewritten the root. Rise. Return to the main hall. Realize you are taller here, not in stature, but in presence. Scenes that once would have ambushed you now look to you for instruction. Another frame rolls forward, luminous and gentle. A moment where you told yourself you failed. See the evidence you collected at the time, the numbers, the silence, the goodbye. Step in. This time, keep the outer details intact. Change only the meaning. Let the same scene become a turning, the full stop become a comma, the closed door become a redirect. Watch your past self notice the hidden gift. New space, new time, new clarity. The exact pressure needed to move a buried brilliance to the surface. Feel the heat of shame convert to clean motivation, then to quiet mastery. The body does not brace now, it prepares. Whisper to that old you, thank you for carrying the weight long enough for me to learn how to carry light. Feel both versions of you smile. Step out. The frame seals with a gold thread running through it. Purpose. We continue. On your left, An archway opens into a corridor of letters, conversations you replay in your mind. Each letter floats like a sheet of parchment, and if you reach, it lands in your hand. Choose one you've read 1,000 times internally. The text that stung, the email that cooled, the message that never came. Hold it. See the old words fade, and new words appear in warm ink. Grace where there was grit, clarity where there was confusion, closure where there was a cliff. But more important than the words on paper is the tone inside you. Let your chest register the revised vibration. I am always respected. I am always chosen by what is mine. Nothing that belongs to me can be delayed. Press this letter to your heart. It dissolves into you, and in dissolving, it becomes law. Now look down the length of the hall. Frames that were dim are brightening on their own. This is the momentum of revision. One revised scene reconfigures a chain of others. One restored belief stitches together a torn fabric. One decision to bless the past changes the angle of the future. You are not moving through isolated pictures. You are healing a pattern, and the pattern responds with gratitude. Can you feel it? The hall itself seems to hum. Thank you for finally seeing with the eyes of the end. Pause here. Let me place something in your hand, a small key, warm, weightless. It is inscribed with a single word, done. This is not a charm. It is a reminder of your office. You are the one who declares completion. You are the one who gives yesterday its assignment. When old images try to return wearing the costume of truth, you will feel the key in your palm, and you will remember to unlock the frame, step in, and tell a better story until the body believes it. There is one more chamber I want you to visit before you leave. At the far end of the hall, a set of doors stands slightly open. As you approach, they swing wide without sound. Inside, no frames, no letters, no scenes. Only a quiet circular room, the color of dawn. In the center, a low pedestal. Resting on it, a mirror made of living light. Stand before it. At first you see your face as you know it. Then, as you soften your gaze, another face appears layered over yours. The one who never suffered from your stories, because they never left the truth. This is the self who watched with love as you learned, fell, rose, doubted, tried, forgot, remembered. This is the one I call I am. Let your foreheads meet, not in effort, but in recognition. Feel the merge begin. Memories rearrange themselves around the new center like iron filings, aligning to a magnet. 1,000 tiny snaps of completion. Relief that doesn't need a reason warms the base of your spine and rises. The sentence forms and speaks itself through your chest. Nothing was wasted. Everything served me. I now claim the harvest of a revised past. The room brightens one last shade, and you know the work is done. Turn gently and walk back into the hall. As you pass, the frames bow to you, not as a ruler over them, but as the author within them. They are no longer sources of pain. They are proofs of power. Where there were jagged edges, there is now gold kintsugi. Every crack filled with meaning, every line, a vein of strength. Return to the threshold where you began. Feel your feet on the cool floor, your breath smooth and even, your heart unhurried. Bring your revised memories into the body you are sitting in now. Let your shoulders take on the posture of someone already forgiven, already provided for, already loved, already chosen. Let your face settle into the expression of one who does not look back for permission. Before you open your eyes, breathe in and speak within once. Slowly, with the full weight of your new authority. I bless what was, I claim what is, I author what will be. And because I have revised the root, the fruit must change. It is done. Now open your eyes, or keep them closed a little longer, and rest in the afterglow. Either way, carry this quiet certainty into your next hour. If an old picture taps your shoulder, smile. You know the way back. You know how to soften the glass, step through, and speak the ending. You are no longer the prisoner of memory. You are memory's maker. You have reclaimed the past, and in doing so, you have widened the future. Walk gently. You are new, and everything that ever belonged to you is already finding you by the path you just cleared. Close your eyes and let the breath soften, in through the nose, out like warm wind. Again, a little slower, in and out. Feel your shoulders loosen, your tongue unclench from the roof of your mouth, your belly soften into your lap. The edges of the outer world blur and grow quiet. Like a city at dusk, seen from very far away, you are not escaping. You are returning to the place where creation begins. Under your feet, feel earth. Not metaphorical earth. Cool, living soil. Springy with life. A hush settles around you, the kind that makes you aware of your own heartbeat, steady and friendly in your chest. When your inner eyes open, you are standing at the gate of a walled garden. The gate is old wood veined with gold. The hinges do not creak. It opens for you because it recognizes you. You step in. The air is tender with morning light. Dew sits like scattered stars across broad leaves. Somewhere, water speaks in a low murmur, a small stream, an ancient fountain, its rhythm matching your breath. Bees drift lazily, unhurried, sure. A path of warm stone leads you forward. Each stone seems to say, "Welcome back. We've kept your place. Walk slowly." The garden is not a picture. It is a presence. Everything here responds to tone. When you believe, the colors deepen. When you soften, the breeze shifts. When you declare, the ground warms underfoot. This is the place where the unseen becomes form, where intention finds roots, where feeling becomes fruit. This is the garden of fulfillment, and the soil you're feeling beneath you is your subconscious, the holy earth that receives every seed you plant and brings it forth after its kind. Kneel by a clear bed of turned soil. It smells like rain and wood and promise. Beside you rests a small bowl carved from light. Inside the bowl are seeds, each one a living thought, a quiet feeling, a word you choose on purpose. Lift one between finger and thumb. It glows softly, humming with its own future. Hold it near your heart and listen for its name. Perhaps it whispers, "I am provided for." Perhaps it says, "I am loved and secure." Perhaps it sings, "I am vibrant health," or "I am chosen," or "I am free." Whatever rises first in honesty, trust it. The garden answers truth. Cup the seed in both hands and breathe onto it once, gently as if fogging a mirror. That breath is your life. It is consent. It is the signature of I am. Feel the seed respond, warm now in your palms, infused with the tone of already done. With the pad of your thumb, press it into the soil. Not deep, just enough. The earth parts easily to receive it, the way a friend makes room for you at the table. Cover it with a thin blanket of soil. Smooth the surface with loving hands, and rest your palm there. The pulse in your wrist becomes a drum. The soil can hear. Say within, slowly, like a bell that rings long after the strike, "It is done." Listen. Under the surface, a miracle with no sound is beginning. The hard shell of the seed is softening. The invisible is organizing. Roots, filaments, threads reaching down and out to meet water, to meet nutrients, to weave themselves into the vast network of intelligence that runs beneath every garden, the mycelium of grace, the bridge of incidence. You cannot see it with outer eyes, but you can feel a slight tingle in your palm as the first root anchors. That is enough. Knowing is watering. Rise and move to a second bed. The bowl of seeds follows you like a moon in your hands. This time, the seed you choose holds a different name. Perhaps it is, "I am wealthy in peace and provision." Perhaps, "I am welcomed and celebrated." Feel which one lights your chest from the inside. Breathe onto it. Speak its name. Place it in the soil. Smooth. Bless. It is done. You notice tools waiting for you by the path. Not tools for struggle, but instruments of care. A watering can that seems to fill itself from the fountain without being carried. Pruning shears that glow with clean intention. A woven basket for harvest. Pick up the watering can. Within it, the water is not ordinary. It is gratitude made liquid. Every pour is a thank you. offered in advance. Tilt the spout and watch pearls of water sink into the earth above your seeds. With each pour, feel a warm wave move through your ribs and back, like the body's way of nodding. Gratitude waters best when it is quiet. You do not need to shout. The soil hears everything. Walk further. The garden opens into a small orchard. Trees here are heavy with fruit that looks like moments, a hand held without flinch, a bill paid with ease, a doorway where your name is the one called. Some fruits are ripe, some still in blossom. The branches bend without breaking. You understand this orchard grew from seeds you once planted without knowing that you were planting. Words spoken idly, feelings rehearsed nightly, identities worn like old coats. You are not judged for that. The garden simply mirrors. Today you choose on purpose. There is a patch at the orchard's edge where small shoots push through, your current seeds beginning to show themselves. Kneel. Touch the pale green arcs with a fingertip. They spring back, alive, delicate, stubborn. Your job is not to pull at them, to hurry them. Your job is to keep the soil rich, the light steady, the water faithful, and the weeds uninterested in staying. What are weeds here? Weeds are the stray thoughts that suggest delay is truth. The old phrases that roll off the tongue when you are tired. It always takes forever. People like me don't. Money is hard. Love leaves. Do not fight weeds. Fighting feeds them. Instead, you shade them out with an atmosphere they cannot survive. An atmosphere of already. Walk the path, humming your chosen sentences, not as wishes, but as weather. I am provided for. I am adored. I am a calm channel for wealth. I am the one opportunity looks for. Feel how, as you hum, the light in this place changes. Weeds loosen their grip on their own. You lift them gently and lay them at the base of your trees. Here, even weeds become mulch. Old beliefs broken down to feed the new. At the far end of the garden is a small pergola, woven with jasmine and morning glory. Beneath it rests a long wooden table, dusted with sun. Sit, a journal lies open, pages blank and patient. Pick up the pen. Here you do not list problems to solve. Here you record harvest in the tense of now. Write a sentence you can taste in your mouth as true. Money moves to me in trusted rhythms, and I receive it with ease. Write another. My home feels like a held breath released. Another, I am deeply loved, and I recognize it everywhere. Let your wrist move at the pace of breath until the page is a field of done. Close the journal. Pressing it shut seals the tone into the roots. The light shifts. It is either late morning or early evening. Time does not behave strictly in this place. A chime rings once from nowhere and everywhere, and you remember something important. The garden is cyclical, not transactional. Seeds become sprouts, become blossoms, become fruit, become seeds again. There is no panic here. There is rhythm. Your desire is not an emergency. It is a season. Relish the season you are in. If you are in planting, plant. If you are in flowering, bless the bees. If you are in fruiting, pick with both hands and share. If you are in resting, lay in the grass and let the next cycle assemble itself in the dark underworld where roots converse like old friends. Stand and look toward the center of the garden. A circle of stones surrounds a small pool, clear as glass. The surface reflects sky and branches, and your face. The water is imagination itself. Kneel and touch it with 3 fingers. The pool replies by showing you a scene, not in the future, but in the present, you are now choosing to dwell in. It shows you an ordinary morning, where your ordinary life happens in an extraordinary state. You move through your kitchen with unhurried ease. You open your banking app the way you open the fridge, neutral, confident, unsurprised by goodness. You read a message that lands like warm bread in the hands. Clear invitation, open door. You pass a mirror and catch your own eye and see someone who has become atmosphere, not argument. That image is not a carrot on a stick. It is a mirror of the seed you just planted. Watch it until the feeling of it slides into your muscles as if you've lived there for years. Then let the surface go still. Stand up different, over your shoulder. A soft sound, the gate opening again. Someone enters. It is you, a little younger, a version that worried about doing it right. They look around with wide eyes, unsure whether they're allowed to touch anything. Smile and beckon them over. Put one of your warm seeds into their palm. Show them how to breathe on it. Show them how to press it into soil without apology. This is how you end the old cycle of waiting. You teach the part of you that used to wait how to plant. Watch their shoulders drop in relief. The garden expands to make room. A cloud drifts across the sun. A breeze comes from the east, thick with the scent of new rain. Perfect. Take up the watering can again. This time, as you pour, whisper just above a whisper. Thank you that it's already done. Not to the sky, not to the garden, to your own inner law, your Father who sees in secret and rewards openly. With each pour, feel the word already settle deeper. Already in the dark, roots are tying knots you cannot untie. Already the stalk is thickening. Already a bud is setting. That will be a blossom. That will be fruit. That will be seed. That will be more than you asked. Your only assignment is loyalty to the state. The garden handles the choreography. Near the path you passed on your way in, there is a compost heap, a warm, clean pile, where what is finished returns to feed what is beginning. Walk there with anything you do not need to carry. The habit of checking too soon, the reflex to compare, the old script that made you the beggar at your own table. Place each one on the pile with a hand on your heart and a small nod of thanks. Even the things that hurt were teachers. The heap breathes out a little plume of sweetness, and as it does, the heaviness leaves your body like steam off warm bread. From the corner of your eye, you catch a shimmer. Turn. There, espaliered along the sunlit wall, are vines trained into words spelled in living leaves. The phrases are short and final. I am. It is done. I live. From the end. Walk slowly past them and let your fingertips brush each living letter. When your skin meets the leaf, the phrase prints itself in your nervous system. You are training your body to recognize truth faster than doubt can speak. One last task before you go. Return to your first two beds. With your index finger, make a tiny mark in the soil beside each seed, a private sign only you and the garden understand. That mark means, do not dig, do not hurry, do not measure with outer eyes. It is the farmer's wisdom in a single stroke. Stand, dust your hands, and look up. The whole garden seems to breathe, inhale and exhale, like a great animal at rest. You are part of that breath. You are not separate from the mechanism of growth. You are the cause within it. Place your palm over your heart, and in a voice that sounds like the center of the earth, speak once more. I am the fertile ground. I plant only what I want multiplied. I water with gratitude. I wait in rest. I harvest in joy. It is done. Walk back toward the gate. Notice how, as you move, tiny signs reveal themselves, a new leaf unfurling, where there was only a nub a moment ago, a bud tipping with color, the most delicate net of roots visible for a second under a shallow run of water. The garden loves to show off just enough to reinforce your faith without collapsing the mystery. Smile. You do not need proof. You already have tone. Step through the gate. It swings to behind you, not as an ending, but as a seal. Feel the floor beneath the body you're in now. Feel the weight of your hands. Feel the breath in your chest. The garden does not stay behind. It comes with you as an atmosphere, as a rhythm, as a way of looking at everything you touch. For the rest of this day, walk as a gardener. Choose your words like seeds. If a sentence carries lack, it is too expensive to say. If a thought tastes of delay, compost it and choose another. In the morning, water with a single steady minute of gratitude before your feet touch the floor. At night, water by drifting into sleep in the feeling of harvest, fingers sticky with peach, basket heavy on your forearm, sun warm on the back of your neck. That is starts wearing simple clothes. The soil never sleeps. While you do, it works. And when old reality taps your shoulder, for it may, do not argue. Return to your garden inside. Touch the mark beside your seed. Smile the smile of someone who knows what roots are doing. Breathe as if the air itself contains supply, because it does. And whisper once, slow and certain, it's already mine now. Open your eyes if you wish, or remain a little longer in the gentle hum of growth. Either way, the garden is tending what you planted. Your only job is to tend your tone. The fruit is inevitable, natural, and divinely ordered. Close your eyes. Let the outer world soften at the edges until it feels like a painting you can step beyond. In through the nose, slow and generous. Out through the mouth, like warm wind across water. Again. With each breath, you loosen the rope between you and appearances. You are not escaping. You are selecting. Before you, suspended in a vast hush, a bridge appears, delicate and impossibly strong. It is woven of light, silver, and gold braiding into a single span that stretches from the land of wanting to the land of already having. Beneath it, not a drop, not a danger, only a soft sea of mist where old facts drift like yesterday's weather. Above, a sky the color of promise. The bridge hums gently, a tone you feel in your ribs before you hear it in your ears. This is the bridge of miracles, not built by effort, but revealed by state. Stand at the near edge and notice what is behind you. A shoreline crowded with familiar scenes, unpaid bills, like paper birds pecking at your patience, text threads that never quite warm. The mirror that offers the same expression every morning. They're not enemies, they are echoes. You bless them for what they taught you, and you turn to face forward. Ahead, far but near, the opposite shore glows with the warmth of a home already lived, in laughter, in a kitchen. You know by heart a bank balance that reads like calm, footsteps that return at night because they love returning. You do not strain your eyes to see details. You let your body recognize the tone. Done. Place one foot on the first plank. It brightens under your soul, and a word reveals itself in the light. Now, say it once. Not as a chant, but as a verdict. Now your weight settles, your spine lengthens. This plank is the end of waiting. Step to the next plank. It lights with a second word, chosen. Feel how the air around you adjusts when you carry yourself as selected rather than seeking. Chosen doesn't tighten you, it opens you. The way a sunrise opens a room. Another step. Already, the bridge hums at a deeper pitch. Already turns the horizon into an echo of your present tense. Desire stops being distance and becomes direction. Another. Done. The mist below sighs and thins. Done doesn't mean forcing results. Done means your inner court has delivered its ruling and the world is preparing the public record. Walk. Step. Breathe. With each plank, a principle anchors itself into your nervous system. On this bridge, decisions are not hard. They are simple. You choose the end and let the planks appear under your feet. The mist stirs, figures rise from it, gentle and familiar. Doubt approaches first, not a monster, not a storm, only a soft voice wearing your face from a year ago. It asks, but what if? Do not argue. Place your palm over your heart, feel the steady drum, and answer with the only sentence that empties every question. It's already mine now. The plank beneath you warms. Doubt has nowhere to stand, because you have given it no state to stand in. A little farther on, time steps out. A curtain of clock faces spinning on invisible threads, trying to suggest distance between you and what you have claimed. Exhale slowly, and notice how the clocks respond to your breath like dandelion seeds. Soon becomes now, when the one who speaks is the end itself. Say, calmly, I arrive as I am. The clocks lose their hands, the curtain parts. You do not rush, you release. Next comes appearance, draped in mirrors. It presents you with reports, numbers, expressions you once accepted as final. You look at the mirrors the way you look at a postcard after you've returned from the trip it depicts, fondly, without authority. You nod. and the glass softens back into light. You are not here to convince reflections. You are here to cast them. Continue. The railings whisper as you pass, a low song that matches your bones. Each plank ahead reveals a living word, and each word becomes an action without effort. Language. As your foot touches, you feel the truth carve a clean path through your mouth and mind. From here on, you speak only what you wish to multiply. Casual complaint cannot cross this bridge. You notice how easy it is to be precise. I am supplied, not I hope it works out. We are reconciled, not I wish they would call. You do not try to believe these sentences. You allow them to be the only ones you can say. Posture. The next plank asks for nothing dramatic. It invites you to stand as the one who has chin easy, shoulders low and broad, breath deep. Your walk widens by a fraction, the way a person moves when they are not looking for permission. The bridge strengthens under the weight of that quiet generosity. A small platform opens to your right, as if the bridge grew a hand. On it sits a simple gift, something you can give now without cost to your state. A kind note, a warm review, a bill paid on time with gratitude instead of grit. Take it, release it into the air, watch it become a streak of gold that sails to the far shore and sinks into the soil of your future. Giving from fullness proves to your body that fullness is your home. Decision. Another plank vibrates with the memory of choices you delayed in the old land. Choose one now from the end. Not recklessly, be faithfully. The option that aligns with already. As you place your foot, the choice locks in without drama. You feel 1,000 small tasks arrange themselves around it, like iron filings around a magnet. Silence. The hum of the bridge lowers until it is almost below hearing. Here you keep what is wholly unspoken, not as secrecy, but as containment. The most powerful seeds germinate in the dark. You feel the sweetness of not explaining your becoming. Your frequency deepens. Revision. A small alcove opens to the left, holding a faded photograph of a moment you carried like a pebble in your shoe. You hold the photo. It warms and changes. Faces soften. Words become kinder. Outcomes turn to wisdom. Slip the new image into your chest and feel your stride lighten. Weight removed is also progress. Rest, a bench of light grows from the railing. Sit for a breath or two without losing ground. On this bridge, rest is not delay, it is integration. Effort is not what moves you. Identity is rise and walk. You are nearing the middle span, the place where old evidence is quiet and new evidence has not yet made a sound. This is where many turn back, confused by the hush. You feel it and smile. The hush is proof that the old song has ended. Do not fill it. Let the silence be the new atmosphere forming around you. As you move, notice certain planks arrive on their own, bringing scenes toward you without you reaching. A message answered. A door unlatched. A face remembering you with warmth. They drift like lanterns along the rail, pacing your steps. You do not grab them. You allow them to come alongside, then pass ahead, then wait for you at the far shore. This is how the bridge of incidents behaves. When you walk as the end, it carries you without announcement. The mist below clears enough to show what it always was. Nothing to fall into, only unselected possibilities dissolving back into light. You realize how often you mistook vapor for walls. That recognition frees a stretch of your spine you didn't know was held. Ahead, 3 simple arches rise from the planks, each wider than the last. Walk beneath the first. A question stands on it in letters of light. Who am I here? Answer once. With the voice that moved the clocks, I am the one who has. The arch answers with warm wind and disappears. Walk beneath the second. What is law here? Answer. As I assume, so it appears. The arch opens like a smile. Walk beneath the third. What is my tone here? Answer. Gratitude as proof. The arch turns to birds and lifts into the sky. You are past the middle now. The far shore is not nearer because you walked harder. It is nearer because you agreed to be it. Let the body register that difference. Ease is not the opposite of progress. Ease is the sign you are no longer dragging the old man with you. Another series of planks greet your feet. Containment, focus, permission. Containment is the end of leaking your certainty into endless conversations. Focus is the end of grazing on opinions that argue with your knowing. Permission is the end of asking life to sign off on your desires. You are the signature. The bridge widens into a quiet overlook. Lean on the railing and look to the right. Far below you see versions of you standing at various shores, each with a different expression. You recognize them without grief. You bow to each one, a little nod of thanks, and as you do they fold into you like pages turning into a single book. Nothing was wasted. Every scene was training for steadiness. Return to the center and continue. The wind now carries scents that live on the far shore. A familiar coffee you didn't buy, but now will, hand in hand. The clean smell of new linen, the paper and ink scent of signed agreements. Your mouth waters a little. That is not hunger, it is recognition. The last approach begins. The planks grow shorter, closer together, like drumbeats approaching a cadence. Each one lights with a phrase your future has been whispering toward you for years. I knew you would come. I always belonged here. Of course. You say them back as you step. Your pulse and the bridge hum are one. At the landing there is no gate to push, no lock to pick, no guard to convince. Only an opening shaped like your name. It flowers as you arrive. Walk through. The ground on this shore is not softer or harder than the other. It is truer. You can tell by the way your feet meet it. No flinch, no test. Stop and look back once, not to doubt, but to bless. The whole span glows faintly, already fading from structure into principle. You do not need the bridge when you are the end. Still, you memorize the feeling of it under your feet. Sure, warm, inevitable. That memory is portable. It will surface each time you face a choice. It will whisper, choose as the one who has. And the plank will be there. Turn forward. Breathe the air you came for. The scenes here are not louder. They are simple. The door opens when you touch it because you carry a key made of tone. A number changes because numbers obey identity. A face lights when it sees you because love recognizes itself. You do not narrate these changes to prove anything. You live them because they fit. Let your body print this shore into its fibers. The weight distribution of a person who is not waiting anymore. The way your hand moves when it signs yes with calm. The cadence of a laugh that doesn't glance over its shoulder for permission. The nervous system relaxes into this like a favorite chair. When you are ready, bring the far shore into your breath. Inhale and feel it settle behind your sternum, solid as a sun. Exhale and feel it expand through your limbs, down to the soles of your feet. You do not have to hold it. It holds you. In a moment, you will open your eyes. The room will be the room, but the bridge will remain, not as a place to visit, but as the way you move. Each task will be a plank that appears because you chose from the end. Each conversation will be a chance to use the language plank or the silence plank. Each bill will be an altar where you practice gratitude as proof. Each surprise will be a lantern that met you halfway because you walked as the one it was seeking. If old images try to magnetize you backward, place your hand on your heart and give the bridge its one toll, paid gladly every time. It's already mine now. Then proceed. Open your eyes slowly, like drawing back a curtain on a stage you own. Feel the chair, the ground, the air of this ordinary miracle. Do not check for signs. You are the sign. Walk from here the way you walked out there. Step, breathe, step, letting planks appear under the feet of your assumption. The bridge of miracles is not distant. It is the path your identity lays down wherever you go. Take a deep breath and feel where you are now. You've walked through silence, through faith, through light, and something deep within you knows the truth. The journey was never about becoming someone new, but remembering who you've always been. You are the cause. You are the Word made flesh. And the life you desire is not waiting, it's responding. So before you leave, seal this moment. Type in the comments below. It's already mine now. Let that be your signature, your declaration to the universe that you've crossed the bridge, planted the seeds, stepped into the temple, and claimed the end. And if this message touched you, if it helped you remember your own power, take a moment to like this video. That single act tells the algorithm and the universe that you're ready for more. Then, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new guided journey. Every video we release will take you deeper into Neville Goddard's hidden teachings, the forgotten wisdom of the law, imagination, and the I am within. Carry this stillness with you today. Whisper softly when doubt appears. It is done. I am the cause. I live from the end. Now go. Live as though your prayer has already been answered. Because it has.